Does the name Pablo Escobar evoke images of a ruthless drug lord or a misunderstood Robin Hood? As we delve into the legacy of Pablo Escobar, we find ourselves navigating a labyrinth of paradoxes. Few figures in history have inspired such polarized opinions. On one hand, Escobar, the infamous kingpin of the Medellin cartel, is often depicted as the embodiment of the global narcotics trade's dark underbelly. His name is synonymous with an era of lawlessness and violence that shook Colombia to its core. Pablo Escobar's reign was nothing short of tumultuous. As the head of the notorious Medellin cartel, he held sway over $1 billion empire of illicit narcotics. His influence extended far beyond the borders of his native Colombia, reaching into the very heart of consumer nations. His ruthless ambition, strategic brilliance, and sheer audacity made him one of the most feared men on the planet. But here's where the narrative takes an unexpected turn. To many in his homeland, Escobar was not a villain but a hero. Despite his notorious reputation, he was seen as a benefactor, a champion of the poor. He invested vast sums into public works, built hospitals, schools, and even entire neighborhoods for the less fortunate. To these people, Escobar was a modern-day Robin Hood, a man who took from the rich and gave to the poor. This dichotomy of public opinion regarding Escobar is fascinating. It's a stark reminder that morality is not always black and white, but is often shaded with gray. It poses the question, can a man be both a ruthless villain and a benevolent benefactor? Can a figure be so vilified and yet so revered? The legacy of Pablo Escobar is a complex tapestry, woven with threads of violence, power, charity, and infamy. It's a legacy that continues to reverberate long after his demise, casting a long shadow over Colombia's past, present, and future. But who was the man behind these diametrically opposed perceptions? Let's delve further into the life and times of Pablo Escobar to uncover the truth behind the legend. Born to a humble family in 1949, in the Colombian city of Rio Negro, Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria's journey to becoming the king of cocaine was anything but ordinary. As a young man, Escobar's ambitions stretched far beyond the confines of his modest upbringing. His path into the underworld was paved with petty crimes, as he dabbled in the business of contraband cigarettes and stolen cars. Yet these were merely stepping stones, small ventures that would eventually lead him to the heady heights of the illicit drug trade. In the early 70s, Escobar began dealing in cocaine. His operation started small, but his ruthless determination and enterprising mind quickly transformed it into a booming business. He was innovative, unafraid to challenge the status quo of the drug trafficking world. His methods were ingenious, yet audacious. From utilizing drug mules to employing small aircraft and submarines, Escobar left no stone unturned in ensuring his product reached its destination. His audacity didn't stop at smuggling methods. In the late 70s, Escobar banded together with other like-minded drug traffickers to form what would later be known as the infamous Medellin cartel. This was a game-changer. The cartel monopolized the cocaine trade, turning it into a multi-billion-dollar industry, and Escobar, its ringleader, into one of the world's wealthiest men. But the rise of the king of cocaine was not marked solely by innovation and enterprise. It was a rise steeped in fear and violence. Escobar was notorious for his plata o plomo approach. Silver or lead, a chilling choice between taking a bribe or facing a bullet. His empire thrived on intimidation, and his ability to evade the law became the stuff of legends. His empire was built on a foundation of fear, violence, and an uncanny ability to evade the law. His story, a chilling testament to the lengths one man would go to rise from obscurity to infamy. At the peak of his power, Escobar's downfall seemed inconceivable. Yet the golden age of the Medellin cartel was not to last forever. The downfall was as dramatic as the rise. The first cracks in the empire appeared with the relentless pursuit by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, the DEA. Determined to bring Escobar to justice, they were unyielding in their chase. Yet it was not only external forces that Escobar had to fear. As the pressure mounted, a special Colombian police unit known as the Search Block was established. Their sole mission was to locate and neutralize Escobar. The formation of this unit marked a turning point in the war against the cartel, but perhaps the most damaging blow to Escobar's empire came from within. Betrayals from his closest allies began to unravel the once unshakable Medellin cartel. Discontent and paranoia were widespread, and trust, a vital currency, was in short supply. Among the most significant events that marked the beginning of the end was Escobar's escape from La Catedral, his luxurious private prison. It was from this point that his fate was sealed. On the run and with his power significantly diminished, Escobar's hold on his empire was slipping. His final days were marked by a desperate struggle for survival. But the king of cocaine was not destined to reclaim his throne. On a rooftop in Medellin in December 1993, Pablo Escobar met his end. His death marked the fall of an empire that had held Colombia in its grip for over a decade. In the end, the king of cocaine fell, leaving behind a legacy as complex and controversial as the man himself. It was a legacy that would continue to echo across the world long after the last echoes of gunfire had faded away. Decades after his death, the ghost of Pablo Escobar continues to haunt Colombia. The echoes of his reign persist in the ongoing drug trafficking issues that still plague the nation. A power vacuum was left in the wake of his fall, and new cartels sprang up to claim their piece of the lucrative drug trade. Societal impacts of his reign are still felt in the pervasive culture of violence and corruption, a grim testament to the influence of a single man. Yet despite the strife he brought upon his homeland, there remains a sense of public fascination with his life. The allure of his rise from poverty to power, his audacious exploits, and his eventual downfall continue to captivate imaginations. His story is retold in countless books, movies, and TV shows, each one attempting to unravel the enigma that was Escobar. Pablo Escobar, a man of contradictions, left a legacy that continues to baffle and fascinate us to this day.